All right, guys, welcome back to Team Down TV's coverage of the Cyber Gamer Finals. Up now, we have Team Immunity taking on YSSC. And my name is Max. My name is not Max.
That's me.
Oh man, I'll just go home now. My name is Menace. I don't even know.
Home.
I don't know my own name. My name is Menace. I'm joined here by Atlas, the one and only Atlas. We're already into the picks and
Got it
bans.
in the end. Got it in the end. Fantastic work. So happy to be here, Menace. And we've got Team Immunity taking on your Soul Shot Chuffer, of course, YSSC, with a fantastic performance last game. And unfortunately, Team Immunity in a very unfamiliar position here in the lower bracket. Of course, this is the final, but they were knocked down here by Curse. They really want to go back and prove themselves against the really on-form Curse. Of course, it's going to be a slightly slanted final here. Best of three, but it's going to be one game up here for Curse against whoever wins this next final. And man, I'm incredibly excited. Let's see these bans coming through. Who's coming down here, Menace?
So over there for Immunity, they've banned out the Ziggs, Lucian, and that one there is the Jax. Now for YSSC, Elise and Cassidy being taken away from Spooks and Swiffer. Of course, Cassidy, that must-ban beast that he is. There's still plenty on the table here for YSSC to ban. What do they pick here for the last one? We'll have to see. But lots still on the table as well. LeBlanc being taken away. I should have guessed that one as well there, Atlas.
Yeah, of course, both of these teams really wanted to play that LeBlanc. Of course, Little Cutie Cheese not really picking up a lot of these really, I guess, conventional mid lane picks, I'd like to say, because he is that Swain player. He plays a lot of these champions like that. Of course, Ziggs being a fantastic champion that he does play. Of course, Little Cutie Cheeseroni is on temp name 507, if that's confusing anyone else. But Little Cutie Cheeseroni, way more fun to say. And I really like the Lucian ban. Denian has been playing that a lot. And the Ziggs ban is incredible just because of the amount of zone control that he has. Early dragon pressure is just fantastic. You can use the Ziggs, the Hextech minefield, just in order to really zone out the enemy team from taking that one. And not to mention over on the other side here, YSSC taking away the Cassidy from the hands of Swiffer. And even if you have some sort of anti-Cassidy strategy, Team Immunity will find a way of nullifying it, as we saw in their first matchup. And just a really brilliant idea to get rid of that one, just take it off the table entirely. And Avant-Garde Ascension sort of walked into that trap, and we'll see what they managed to do. Of course, Menace, what are the picks coming through at the moment?
Right, so the first pick here for Swiper, actually going for Venom's Morgana there, taken away from Flying Jew, and looks like Jack Attack picked up Caitlyn and Nami, actually, for YSSC, a very interesting composition for their bottom lane.
Yeah, that bot lane already picked out straight away as well. Denian feeling like that Caitlyn was the pickup that he wanted. I really liked the hover that Swiper did over that Tryndamere as well. So, always a good thing to see Swiper thinking about his world-famous Tryndamere champion. And I'd like to see that one picked up, even if it could possibly come through. But I like the Nami pickup here against the Morgana. I mean, you have a lot of engage potential. You can keep your members topped up as well. We'll see what Radier decides to go with in response. I mean, there are a lot of lanes that are still available that are fantastic when paired with that Morgana. Of course, Jinx does come to mind. Trashboat playing that Jinx with the Morgana support as well has been really, really fantastic on the side of Curse. So we'll see what they decide to do, what they decide to pick up with it. Menace, what has come through?
All right, we've got Kha'Zix actually making it through the banning phase, which makes me really excited because I love Kha'Zix. And it's going to be a Twitch again for Immunity. We saw them play against Curse earlier on, and they didn't play very well. Well, they did play well, but Curse played better. So, over there for YSSC, they've locked in once again that Renekton as well as the Wukong. We might see a Swain pick here once more for YSSC. So that is now down to Immunity. What are their last two picks here? There's plenty on the board. Twisted Fate was played last game, and Swiffer did have a great match on that TF, but you know, like we said, that Curse coming out much better than I am, and just one team fight really had it in the end. They were able to finish the game off. There for Immunity now. The fourth and fifth pick to come out. The last one still coming out for YSSC. I'm predicting the Swain because of that synergy that they have with the Wukong, Renekton, and Swain. And with the Nami in there as well, I really like that if they do happen to grab the Swain. There's plenty of stuns and knock up there. Lots of CC. Jack Attack safely, well, sorry, I should say Denian safely picking, sitting at the back of the team and just popping out all the auto attacks. And it looks like it might be a Lulu, though, for the mid lane for Swiffer. And it will be maybe a Shyvana for the top lane Swiper. He played it. We've seen him play it plenty of times. It will be a Shyvana for the top lane. up there. Swiper going to pick that one up. Now, the last pick here for YSSC, will it be the Swain?
Yeah, I really hope it is, because looking at the Nami, and with the Swain, it'd be absolutely fantastic. You got the Never Move into the Aqua Prison combination, really locking up a target for an incredibly long time. I like the Lulu pick in response. It does really allow that Wild Growth to be used to save the target that does get locked down if they find themselves in that position. So having that there as an availability, as well as having Rosie on, of course, that Morgana to give that Black Shield just to try and stop some of this extra CC from coming down. It is very, very good, but we'll see whether they lock it in. Have they done it, Menace? I'm a little bit behind.
Nope, still just nothing. Just waiting
out. Oh, no. Keep us posted, because I'm very excited. If it is the little cutie cheese or any Swain again, this game has all of a sudden become the most exciting thing in the history of games.
It's an Oriana, so instead of that
wow.
Swain, yeah, it looks like it will be Little Cutie Cheeseroni / temp name 507 playing the Oriana, and I think that's also a great pick. I mean, there's plenty of synergy here for them. Lots
also
of
great
aliens.
against the Lulu as well.
Yeah. So that's it's the Lulu for the Oriana against Oriana mid lane here, and it's going to be Wukong once more for Zay. He did play an amazing Wukong previous match. Spooks on that Kha'Zix. He's going to take a little while. This is kind of out of the Spooks playstyle, I think. You know, it takes a little bit for Kha'Zix to get up and going.
Oh, he has played an incredible Kha'Zix, though, of course. In tournaments past, I mean, Spooks has put his team on his back, especially for the early game as far as, like, leaping over walls, picking up the final ends of kills and flashing out. It's a fantastic way for him to really put his stamp on the game. And now that Feral Flare has been nerfed away, it's much more effective to use these Spirit Stone junglers, just because without the Feral Flare being quite as powerful, it really does open the board to things like Elise, which has now been banned out, of course, as a response to this 4.7 patch. So we will see whether he manages to make his mark as he has done in the past, or whether it's going to be YSSC really powering through with this one, because I love their team fight combinations. This is what YSSC really prides themselves on. You can initiate with the Tidal Wave, and then you can have that Psych Wave combination, the Cyclone and the Shockwave coming through on top of Wukong. Of course, that Command Protect really making him really tanky. He can Nimbus Strike right into where he wants to be, get that Cyclone down, and you can really adjust where you want that Shockwave to be for maximum potential while the enemy team is knocked up. So it's a really, really nice combo. We'll see whether they can make it work out. Of course, you can put it on the Renekton as well. He can slice and dice his way through these fights, and you can have Denian so much self-peel on the side of Caitlyn that you can sit in that back line, let your team just go full ham, right into everything, and use that 90 caliber net to stay safe, as well as flashing around if you well need to. And with the added range, it's going to be a lot easier for him. So I like the team comp coming out from YSSC. Of course, a lot of early game focus with Jack Attack on that Renekton again, but we've been seeing Jack Attack playing this Renekton so incredibly well. Of course, over the last week, we haven't seen Renektons really be that prominent, and we've found things like Shyvana and Trundle will outscale them, but at this point, Renekton pick is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so we have the summoners now revealed. You can see that Ignites for the top lane. It looks like it's going to be 2 heals for the side of YSSC. Oriana actually grabbing that one, as well as Caitlyn. Exhausts for both supports here. And, interesting that there's no teleports, but, I mean, both Shyvana and Renekton, we see them in the top so often. We do like to see Renekton, Renekton plays a lot better earlier on, than we see Shyvana come into her own a little bit further down the track. So that lane matchup is very interesting. Jack Attack is going to have a hard time still. When he gets to that mid game, I think it's going to be real trouble for YSSC in general. Caitlyn, still very strong all around, but, that mid game, a little bit of fall off for those guys. Interesting Nami pick. I like it against, especially Morgana and Twitch. I mean, there's a lot of sustain in there, so that bottom lane is very safe.
Yeah, no, that's really, really true. The other thing that I really want to mention as well is the siege and counter siege potential coming out from both of these teams. Team Immunity basically have 0 siege potential. With this Twitch, really low range, unable to really get up into the face of these turrets, they have to make sure that they're out-rotating YSSC, especially with the fact that they have the attack dissonance combination for incredible wave clear, not to mention Denian on that Caitlyn, able to stand really far away from that turret and still pick up those creeps that are doing the damage, and the Peacemaker doing massive work really clearing them out. So it's going to be difficult for Team Immunity just to straight 5v5 siege a turret, unless they're either ridiculously far ahead or they manage to out-rotate YSSC and they don't have any members there. So things are going to be hard. We'll see whether they can do it. And of course, Team Immunity, known for their strategic play. They know exactly how to move around this map as a team, how to play out these matchups so that they're doing exactly what they need to get their players where they need to be and take the objectives when they're available. We'll see whether they can get the picks that they want. That's not a pun for Lulu there either. And having Spooks here on this Kha'Zix, especially early on, there's no need to be mean, Menace, all right? I've got a reputation to uphold. Okay, these things happen. And Dark Binding is available as well. So having Dark Binding, Glitter Lance for the extra slow, and of course then when all is said and done, you've got Swiper to jump in there with the Dragon's Descent and really get this team fight happening. And if Venom is really on point, of course he's changed his name back to Venom from Rosie, which I think is really, really exciting because I've only ever known him as Venom and it's been really confusing. But that aside, having that Soul Shackles there as well to lock down this entire team is going to be really, really important because we do have another Wombo Combo team comp coming through for YSSC. They want to be clumped together, especially Zahi and Jack Attack really in that front line. And if they get stunned up and focused down, there's really not going to be very much defense coming through for YSSC. So both Team Immunity and YSSC both have amazing talent, and we'll see whether they manage to get this fight through as we're almost onto the Rift here, Menace. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we are, and there's ports coming out. Probably just waiting for someone to fully connect here. It takes a little bit of time sometimes. Early on, level 1, I don't think we're going to see much action. It's probably going to be spread out for both sides. There's not huge potential here. Maybe Dark Binding it would change a team fight, but not much follow-up apart from that from either side. There is the Aqua Prison available from Nami, but that's really it. You don't want Renekton up there trying to get the stuns. It's probably going to be a very spread-out game. You see the Cheeseroni has actually disconnected, which is quite unfortunate. So we might actually just cut to a bit of music, guys. Won't be long before we're right back. While we ride out this pause, please bear with us here for the Cyber Gamer Winter Finals between YSSC and Immunity. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back after the pause has been finished, and we are into this game between YSSC and Immunity. All the picks, all the buys have come out, and we can see here an ancient coin actually being grabbed by Nami, as well as the Spell Thief's Edge for Morgana. And as we'll talk about before, Max, Atlas was saying that maybe they're going to be spread out a bit here. And you can see already YSSC spreading all over the river, and same for Immunity. No one really wants to fight.
Yeah, no one really wanted to fight. Of course, having these trinkets up already as well means that you can have so much extra vision out onto this map. Not very possible to catch one another out, of course. As we were seeing in the 4.6 patch, one ward is about the most that you get unless you sacrifice your support's entire starting item. So not going to be happening here, but now, of course, with these trinket wards coming up within the first 30 seconds of this match, there's going to be plenty of vision to be had to scout out. And as we can see, we do have the defensive formation coming through. So it looks like we're going to have standard laning, top laners in the top lane, bottom laners in the bottom lane. And straight up, I think this actually helps out YSSC, especially because they get that Renekton Shyvana matchup there. Of course, Swiper is a phenomenal Shyvana player anyway, so he is going to be able to get a lot down. Has gone with that Doran's Blade, so not wanting to get that extra sustain that the Cloth 5 would give you, which a lot of Shyvanas have been running against that Renekton. So pretty confident here is Swiper. But in this bottom lane as well, Nami Caitlyn is going to be really, really powerful, especially when you've got the Tidecaller's Blessing to really make sure that Denian can get as much power from that added range that Caitlyn does have. And Zahi now on his Wukong, he's been fantastic the last 2 games that we've seen. Of course, wasn't streamed on the first one, but he was playing brilliantly. And we'll see whether he manages to have the same impact this time. Of course, going to be starting off his blue buff now, and Spook's just going to be left to his own devices here at the red, and he's going to be able to take that one down as well. So standard laning, we'll see what happens. And of course, in the mid lane as well, Orianna does tend to beat out Lulu. So YSSC really strong showing from the very beginning.
So there's a lot on the line here, which we haven't really pointed out for Immunity, especially if they actually lose this, they will be knocked out of the tournament, and it'll be YSSC versus Curse in the finals. And that is something I would love to see here, Atlas.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And of course, considering the fact that this is mainly a game for Immunity to prove themselves again that they're not going to lose one of these tournaments, because they win everything. Denian actually getting caught by the bind here. Radia taking a lot of damage, forcing the heal straight away. First blood comes down. The Ignite does tick. Radia picks up the kill because he's taken Ignite. That is ridiculous. Didn't even look to see whether that one had happened. Flying Jew now having to dodge the Dark Binding. Venom trying to pick that one up, manages to make it behind the creeps, but Radia with first blood, that is not something that you want to see.
Now, always unfortunate to be giving that one straight to Twitch, especially. Yeah, like you said, we just completely missed that one there. Didn't realize that Radia had grabbed Ignite, and it really did not help out in the bottom lane. Denian actually used his heal. Maybe he didn't even realize there was Ignite there as well, because obviously that's going to suppress the healing. So, Denian giving away that first blood, really unfortunate start for YSSC, but Immunity up already 1-0, getting them that little bit of extra gold.
Yeah, they're going to have to look to the rest of their lanes in order to start this one out, because now this bottom lane, with that extra money, of course, now 17-6 in CS. If you die that early on, you can miss so many creeps. Spook's now coming in, trying to get to Jack Attack. Leaf is going to get sliced out of the way of, and Jack Attack just going to be able to make it to safety. But at half health, it means that Swiper can put some extra pressure down.
Yeah, that does really help him out a bit, and Spook's now returning over to his jungle here. Jack Attack and Swiper actually fighting it out, the burnout being used. Jack Attack pops his health pot, and Swiper's continuing the aggression down. Jack Attack comes out, second best from that little engage. Oh, mid lane here, we see Zay coming in for a gank onto Swiffer, but it's not going to be enough. He's got that double buff, gets to slow off, but yeah, all the safety in the world with that Lulu.
Yeah, Lulu just with that whimsy, able to speed yourself up, has the good lance to slow down his assailants as well, so easily going to help himself out. Of course, Kuldameet going to be fantastic here for Jack Attack to try and heal back up in this lane. Has, of course, used his health potion, so not going to be able to get much sustain from that, but of course, the Shyvana, you're not going to have any sustain at all. There's the Contaminate coming through, or what used to be the Expunge here for Twitch, doing a fair bit of damage, really, utilizing all of that poison that's ticking down on his enemies.
Mid lane
taking a lot of hit, but in the mid lane, Menace, take it away.
Yeah, the flash there coming out from Temp Lane. He does return actually a lot of damage on the Spooks, but no kills will arise from that engage. The flash on Orianna is quite a big get actually for this mid lane, especially on Lulu, who still has flash and ignite. So I'd expect here Very safe play coming from Temp Name 507, or maybe even a death for Swiffer, a kill for Swiffer onto Oriana. Up in the top lane, looks like they're battling it out once more. Both these top laners falling very low. And oh, it's going to be Jack Attack picking up the kill. The Ignite, will it be enough to tick it down? No one. Jack Attack takes down Swiper.
Yeah, hashtag calculated there on the side of Jack Attack. Just knew exactly how much damage he could take, and the Ignite not being enough. And of course, with Swiper picking up that Ignite means that he wants to have a lot more lane pressure, but didn't work out in this instance. He does pick up an extra Doran's Blade and a Cloth Armor. Is going to be able to head back to base, but we'll see what Jack Attack does add in for himself. A Pickaxe has been picked up, and a longsword as well, so he's going to have a lot of damage, especially in these early fights. And with just a Cloth Armor here on the side of Swiper, that's going to be really dangerous. Of course, Temp Name is very low on mana, high on health though. Swiffer, unfortunately, fairly low, so not really going to be able to follow up on too much that Spooks might want to bring to the table here in this mid lane. We'll see what can happen. Is still managing to zone out Temp Name just because of the lack of vision that they have. He just doesn't know where Spooks is.
Yeah, you can see here that even though Swiffer's got low health, he's still able to bully out Temp Name just because of the summoners. And Spooks is coming in here. Oh, he flashes! And the leap as well. Isn't going to be enough, but here's Zay to answer this gank. It's a very deep dive from Spooks, and Zay will be able to defend this mid lane.
Yeah, and of course in the top lane as well, we've got Jack Attack slicing and dicing. Level 6 to level 5 here. Swiper falling behind a little bit in this lane. Dominus is available here, of course, so if he does want to fight this one out, nice Cull to Meat gives him a lot of health back. And Swiffer in the mid lane ends up heading back to base. Of course, Temp Name going to be doing the same here as well. And Denia now forced to use that 90 caliber net. Does have a really nice Aqua Prison coming out of Flying Dew. Radiator going to be able to wander out of this one as well. So lots of excitement across everywhere.
And yeah, that bottom lane is very interesting still. Now you can see there's a little bit of favour towards Denny, and now he's gone and grabbed himself a Vamp Scepter. He's got that sustain. The Bilgewater Cutlass being finished on Radiant here, and they're pushing very hard up against that turret. Venom now actually moving up, and it's going to ward. You can see here Jack Attack continuing the pressure on the Swiper. We talked about the Renekton being able to control this lane early on. It's going to be a while before we see Shavada able to get up and get going as Zay gives the blue buff over to Oriana. So something quite essential for Oriana to be able to sustain in this mid lane is that blue buff. Swiffer actually not grabbing that one. I think that it'll be a little while before that is back up. We'll see if they do hand that over to Lulu. But this is going to help out Temp Name. He's going to be able to farm quite happily now. His flash will be up, not too far away from being up. And he's moving down actually towards that jungle, just trying to sniff out where Swiffer is.
Yeah, and it's all about this bottom lane at this point. I mean, that's where the discrepancy is, of course. Immunity have been playing really, really well in order to keep up in these what should be losing lanes. Of course, Oriana picked against Lulu a lot, and Renekton just being an early game beast. Swiper, as we can see, is an incredible player. Able to last hit anyway, even though he is in a losing matchup. Has actually died, but still only 2 creeps behind, which is massively to his credit. Radius still shoving up here, 70 creeps to 52 now in that bottom lane. That first blood, really, really unfortunate. Aqua Prison not going to be landing here either. So, nicely played here by Immunity, especially here in the bottom lane, and they're really showing why Radius is one of the most incredible players here in Oceania. Because
and the top lane.
To make something happen. Here's the Dominus is available. Is it going to be popped? There it is. Has actually already come through. There's the Cyclone as well, doing a fair bit of damage, but Zahi now in a lot of trouble. Is the decoy going to be up? There's the Ignite onto Jack Attack, the flash forward. There is the damage. Spooks picks up that kill. Swiper picks up another one, and Immunity stamping their foot down on this game.
Yeah, already now 3-1 with a 12.7k gold lead in the mid lane here. You can see Temp Name just using his blue buff to his full ability. But yeah, a nice little play there. Zay actually had to take quite a lot of damage to keep Renekton safe, but in the end, turned it around, was not able to save him actually, and you could see that the 2 kills resulting over there for one apiece, one for Kha'Zix, one for Shyvana, actually going to help a lot in that top lane, that's for sure. And you can see that, look at the damage actually coming out from Oriana, it's quite a lot.
Yeah, and we can see in the bot lane as well, it's a nice trade coming through from Denian, but he's still getting zoned away from these creeps. Of course, that Dark Binding adding so much extra potential pressure here. And when you've got brush control like Venom does there in that bottom lane, it's very, very difficult for you to come out from under that turret and really get the pressure down. Tidecaller's Blessing doing a nice little job of making sure that these creeps can be farmed up. Zahi now is coming in for a gank.
Yeah,
Premature Black Shield going to be put up there. No worries at all there.
All right, up in the top lane here, Jack Attack actually being affected quite badly by that burnout. Pops himself a health potion there, and he's able to get away with his life. But you can see now the turnaround up in this top lane from Shyvana, and able to get a lot of damage onto Jack Attack, especially with that kill. He's going to take a few turret hits, get stunned on a turret. Jack Attack falling so low. That's Sunfire Cape doing a fair bit of damage as well to Swiper. I don't think he would have survived that one. May have been a 1-for-1 trade, but a nice play there for Renekton. Jack Attack will be forced out of lane. Look at Kha'Zix here. Spooks wants to go in for a bit of an assassination. He's actually very deep into the enemy's jungle. And in this mid lane, we might actually see a gank coming out. Look at how much damage Swift is taking constantly from this Orianna.
Yeah, Temname really utilizing his poke advantage there. And Zai actually taking a lot of damage here. The Cyclone coming through onto Spooks. Oh, the Shockwave getting whiffed. Really, unfortunately, the Contaminate coming down to the bottom lane doing a bit of damage there as well. But, oh, that Shockwave. Very sad. And that really alleviates the pressure here from Swiffer. Knows that ultimate isn't available. He's back
Zay's
again
actually
for
found
round 2.
Yeah, you can see now that he is able to use that invis to get away. Radiant actually flashing Aqua Prison down the bottom lane. An ultimate coming out from Nami. Flying Dew forced to flash away as well. A nice little play in the bottom lane. The Ignite on the Flying Dew is not enough. He's able to escape. Very nice play there from Radiant.
Yeah, Swiper now coming through with the Dragon's Descent as well. He has the red buff, just fell off as well. Spooks is here to add some pressure as well. Has a lot more movement speed here. Gets the slow into Jack Attack. Things are looking a little bit difficult to get the slice, but here's with a massive amounts of movement speed. Jack Attack gets deleted. And Immunity now 4-1, 3,000 gold in the lead. Danian and Flying Dew desperately trying to hold onto this turret, but things are looking fantastic for Immunity all around the map.
Well, I think I just maybe yelled a little bit too loud there. Apologies for that.
No, never.
Never. I get excited. Jinx up in this
excited.
Place. Where's Jinx when you need it? Yeah, so for those guys in chat, Rosie actually is playing. It is Venom. He just changed his name back to the old name that he used to play by. The top lane, though, falling down here. Atlas, you can see that Swiper's picking that one up, gaining control of this lane with the advantage that he now has. 1 kill, 1 death, 2 assists. You know, a little bit further in gold as well. Look at the CS difference between the two top lanes at the moment. Renekton having
and that's really come in just recently as well, Menace. I mean, he just turned a corner. He hit about level 7. This is Swipe, you know. He's such a fantastic Shyvana player. And he got that Chain Vest in Ninja Tabi, and he knows that because Jack Attack is running that Tiamat, he wants to be resetting these auto attacks. He wants to make sure that he can utilize that so that he can get as much damage off as possible. With that Ninja Tabi, it negates so much of that damage potential. So having that item really early on has massively helped him in this lane, and he's now made it back up there, and he's going to be able to split push forever. With that Giant's Belt, almost has that Sunfire Cape completed, so is just going to be able to split push for days, and at this point Jack Attack just can't do anything in response.
Yeah, even with the minions on his side, Jack Attack still comes out second best. Swiper has got his ultimate available. The Dragon's Descent there, and the damage on the Jack Attack's too much for him to handle.
Coming down, gets the Cyclone onto Radiant. He does, of course, have that Black Shield. Is it going to be enough? Oh, not quite landing. There's the ace in the hole, but not going to be enough damage, especially not at this point. Does have a BF sword, but isn't going to be enough to get through to that kill. So, unfortunate gank attempt here from Zahi in the bottom lane, where they can transfer that into a Dragon, which is where they're heading to now. And with Radiant at low health, it could be a possibility, but it might be dangerous.
Yeah, meanwhile, Kha'Zix in the top lane, taking away the red buff. So they've traded no kills in the bottom lane whilst Zay was down there, but they're going to maybe grab themselves a Dragon. You can see Immunity.
The Shockwave coming through in the mid lane here. The Wild Growth in response here by Swiffer, but oh, there's the Rat-a-tat-tat. So much damage coming down. Radiant, we'll see whether he can manage to trade this one. There it is, the triple kill for the bottom lane. 2 of them going over on the side of Venom as well. Ridiculous damage coming through from this Twitch. Blade of the Ruined King was picked up, and man, that was such a turnaround. Even though the Dragon did fall on the side of YSSC, now 8-1 in kills. Oh, it didn't actually fall. Now the Dragon has actually been taken down here by Immunity. So screaming ahead in this matchup. So much gold the difference. Only 14 minutes in as well. This is just a snowball.
Yeah, the only one that's really doing well in his lane is actually Temname. He's not doing well at all. He's just keeping up with Lulu, who has actually got a kill over him. You know, Orianna is keeping up with the CS and probably the only saving grace at the moment. If they can group up and get a good team fight going, but really at the moment they're so far behind, 8-1 kills, and it's a 7k gold lead in favor of Immunity. Immunity coming out of the gates on this one, wanting to show that that previous game of Curse was actually just, you know, so a few little mistakes, and
it was lag.
It was late.
Yeah.
We
Just
can
always
see
point
that now Immunity have got themselves a nice advantage. They're going to move down and try and get as many kills as possible down in this mid lane. As much push as possible down for this mid lane. And they're actually moving out and grouping up, going back to their jungle to chill out.
Yeah, and of course, Wiper just showing us the cool new animation here of the Sunfire cape as well. Always looking a little bit fancier each time this game is upgraded. Flying Jew going to be able to clear out this pink ward. Very nicely done. Applause all around, Danny going to take down this white as well. So it looks to me like YSSC sort of floundering at this point, no pun intended, on the side of Nami, and unable to really make a decision that's going to impact the rest of this game. We'll see whether they can pull themselves together, because they really want to start trying to force these team fights and getting their combo down that they really want. There's the Blade of the Ruined King coming through. Denian actually gets ignited as well. The Venom Cast gets dodged. There's the Aqua Prison as well, but not enough. Radiant too far ahead, happy to tank out as many minions as possible. And even getting Aqua Prisoned. The ambush is available. He's going to go in. He has no health. See whether he can get it all down, but there it is. Even the flash coming through. Radia thinking that the Aqua Prison was available and to finish him off, but wasn't even there. But is going to trade back to YSSC his flash in exchange for a double kill.
Yeah, actually, we do know that is little cutie cheese around there, mate. So be sure we understand who he is.
There is a fight in the mid lane though. The Soul Shackles does come down. No one going to be dying just yet. It was a nice combination coming through, and finally Venom gets taken down. The Psyshock was used, but just doesn't do enough damage at this point, and unfortunately YSSC so far behind. Even though they get off what they need to, it's too late at this point.
You see Radiant coming through here, moving and joining the rest of his team for the mid lane push. And
there's looks like the Dragon's Descent though, and right into the middle of everyone. The Aqua Prison not going to be landing as well. Swiper just playing the distract game, and I think I might be lagging a little bit as well here, Menace, because I've got a dragon doing very strange things, warping around my map, but that's absolutely fine. I think it's adding to the cast, to be honest.
It's just extra skill, just an extra skill that Swiper gets. It's one of his summers.
Yep. So, he was sort of just warping around. It was awesome.
Awesome sauce. All right, let's have a look at this game. Huge gold lead here, Atlas. It's just like 8k at the moment.
Monstrous.
And monstrous. It's 8,000 gold. Over 8,000 gold lead in favor of Immunity. 10 to 2 kills. I really don't know how YSSC can come back from this one.
Radiant now popping that Blade of the Ruined King again. Lands the Venom Cask as well. Another Aqua Prison. Fantastic work from Flying Jew, making sure that he has that ability that really does counteract the sneak up potential here from Twitch, because he's so immobile, doesn't have that flash available either, so unable to get out of that particular Aqua Prison maneuver. Flying Jew doing his best support work. Dark Binding going to be missed here because Temp Name decided not to move away from any creeps. And Swiper, of course, just throwing around Flame Breaths as well. Zahi has now picked up Swiffer here in the jungle. We'll see whether they manage to get anything. There's the Shockwave. Swiffer actually getting hit up by that one. The distance, well, there's the flash into the Cyclone. Wild Growth forced out instantly, but Spooks is way in here. The decoy lands. Unfortunately, Zahi incredibly low on health. He is going to go down. Of course, Flying Jew falling as well. Jack Attack now with that Dominus running is trying to slice and dice his way on top of Radiant, but his ambush is available. Double kill coming through for Swiper as that kill is finished up as well. Immunity just unable to get caught out anywhere. Their rotational ability and their collapsibility in these jungle fights has been immaculate, and no one has been able to get the drop of them at all, apart from Team Curse, of course, in the previous matchup.
Yeah, so Immunity's positioning really perfect at this point. We can see here that they're moving through the second tier turret, going to take that one quite comfortably. I don't think, even with the health bars and a few cooldowns being down at the moment, that IM want to fight this one. You can see them trying to get away as Swiffer desperately with himself trying to escape the little cute Cheeseroni with the slows. And in comes Venom, throws out the Dark Binding, lands actually onto Denny, and perfect. Yeah, look at all that damage. Yeah, so much damage coming from Lulu. Oh no, Spook's being caught out though. No, it's not. It's a nice little binding there onto Temp Name, and down goes Cheeseroni. The flash from Flying Drew. That's a huge Kha'Zix around the back, taking up the turret. He's gone very low though. The Dark Binding missing as well. And now Venom actually flashing away from the turret. The turret hit will take him down. Wukong picks up the kill though onto Morgana, but Kha'Zix is still alive somehow in the back of all this. Takes down the Nami. It's going to move through for the inhibitor.
Yeah, Spook's doing a fancy little leap on the spot just there, always the coolest moves, and Radiant is alive. They're going to be able to take down this turret. GG's coming out all across the map. Not sure whether that means that a surrender is going to be coming in, but this inhibitor definitely going to be surrendering itself. And Immunity really getting their vengeance in this game against what was coming through from Team Curse. I thought you might like that one there, Menace. Of course, a little bit of a Diablo 3 reference there, everyone, for those playing at home. Burnout going to be used here by Swiper to try and get away from here. And no speed boosts quite available. Of course, Flying Jew not quite up there with his team, so not going to be able to utilize his passive in order to get anyone some extra speed.
So YSSC desperately trying to catch a few kills after that inhibitor, but when able to. Spooks really didn't need to grab the ace in the hole. He took the ace to the face.
Ace to the face.
He took him very low, and I thought it was maybe they would catch him, but he was able to slide himself away, leaping.
Flying Jew. Unfortunately getting caught up by the Dark Binding here. Aquapris are not going to do anything with that Black Shield available. Radier does have ambush here as well. Tidal Wave going to completely whiff. Even though it hit Radier, they didn't know he was there. Venom Cast coming through. So much damage. Oh my goodness, Jack Attack. Now the focus going to get destroyed. There's the Shockwave. Gets whiffed because Spooks has that Black Shield leaping around everywhere. Flying Jew now going to get eliminated. And my goodness, so much damage coming through from that Twitch, that rat-a-tat-tat, not even being used in that fight, just decimating. Has the Static Shiv, has the Blade of the Ruin King, and
the Dark Binding
gets Dark Binding.
Is that a verb? It is now. That's now a word. You got it at max range there. And Venom's going to move across here with the rest of his team. This is surely game over. There's a surrender. GG, well played to Immunity.
Fantastically well played to Immunity, but YSSC should definitely be pleased. They've come third place. They've managed to pick up a little bit of money and also the all-important qualification here through to the winter round of 8. And now the viewers at home, everyone really wanted to see this one, to see whether Immunity could come back against Team Curse. We've got it. The grand final between Team Immunity and Team Curse coming up next. This is going to be so exciting, Menace. I can't wait.
Yeah, we'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere.